Hello class, today we're looking at lesson 6-4, areas of other figures on page 232. What you'll learn today is to find the area of a trapezoid and the area of irregular figures. New vocabulary that you will learn are bases of a trapezoid and the height of a trapezoid. So first, let's just take a look. What is a trapezoid? If you look over here, a trapezoid is a quadrilateral. So a quadrilateral we know has 4 sides that has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Read B1 as base 1 and B2 as base 2. So parallel, right, we've talked about in the past, are 2 lines running side by side. They do not cross. They are parallel. Think of them as train tracks. So a trapezoid has one set of parallel sides. Here we have base 1 and base 2. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. Why learn this? If you know how to find the area of simple figures, you can find the area of an irregular figure, such as the area of a backyard deck. The formula for the area of a trapezoid follows the formula for the area of a parallelogram. The 2 parallel sides of a trapezoid are the bases of a trapezoid with the lengths B1 and B2. The height of the trapezoid, H, is the length of the perpendicular segment connecting the bases. So our height is going to be right here. If you put 2 identical trapezoids together, you get a parallelogram. The area of the parallelogram is B1, base 1, plus base 2 times the height. The area of one trapezoid equals half of that. So you're going to multiply by half or divide by 2. So half times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. Did I say that right? So you're going to take base 1 plus base 2, multiply it by the height, and then divide by 2. And here's a picture that they kind of show for us. So you can see here is base 1, here's base 1, base 2, base 2. We're adding those together. The height is going to be right here. If we multiply by 2 to be able to multiply, I'm sorry, not multiply by 2. If we're going to multiply the height times the base 1 plus base 2, it's going to give us the area for this entire figure. But we really only want to know the area for half of it, which is the trapezoid that we're looking for. So the area of a trapezoid, this is what you might want to write down because this is what you are going to use as your formula for the day. The area of a trapezoid is 1/2 the product of the height and the sum of the length of the bases. So this right here, pause the video and write that down so that you will have it for your homework. Turning to the next page, they have that same formula for us right here. Area equals 1/2 times the height times the base 1 plus base 2. So looking over at our figure we have, so this figure we really want to see what if we were to add this, supposed to be there. So that means this one is going to be base 1. This is going to be base 2. So if we add this to this side and this to this side, it will give us what the height, or I'm sorry, what the two bases added together are. That seems a little confusing. So, base 1 is 8.5, base 2, 13.5. The height is going to be 15. And then, of course, so that we only have this figure right here, we are going to multiply by half. So then we get 18.5 plus 13.5 equals 22. Multiply that by 15. Divide it by 2. Our answer is going to be 165. And of course, when we're talking about area, we add in the measurement, so centimeters squared. So let's check here. Find the area of each trapezoid. If you're comfortable, go ahead and press pause and see if you can figure out the answers for both A and B. When you're ready, go ahead and press play. Okay, so let's decide what base 1 and base 2 equal. So here's base 1, here's base 2. The height is going to be the direct line down. So that's going to equal 4.4. So if we were to write this in an equation, it's going to be half of 4.4 times 6 plus 9.5. So when you add 6 and 9.5 together, you are going to get 15.5. I don't know why I cannot draw a straight 1 on this program, but I am trying. There we go. 15.5. Ooh, and then my 5 looks like an S. You multiply that times 4.4. That's going to equal 68.2. And we're multiplying that by 1/2, which is the same thing as dividing by 2. And therefore our answer is going to be 34.1. Okay, this next one, we have 21. Ooh, that was the wrong one. Highlight, please. 21 and 6. Base 1, base 2. We are going to add those together and then multiply by the height, which is going to be 6, and then multiply that by 1/2. So our equation is going to be 1/2 times the height, which is 6. Whoa. Times 21 plus 6. And of course we know we need to do the parentheses first. 21 plus 6 is going to be 27. Multiply all these together. If we have 27 times 6, that equals 162. Multiplying that by 1/2, same thing as dividing by 2. Our answer is going to be equal 81. Ooh, and I forgot over there, meters meters squared. And this one is also meters squared. Okay, so estimate the area of Arkansas by finding the area of a trapezoid shown. So once again, this goes into examples for us. We look at base 1, base 2, adding those two together and multiplying by the height, which is 242. When we get that total, we are then going to divide by 2. Same thing as multiplying by 1/2. And our answer turns out to be 53,240 miles squared. Estimate the area of the figure at the right by finding the area of the trapezoid. So once again, go ahead and press pause, see if you can figure it out on your own, and then come back to me. Okay, so we're going to go with base 1 plus base 2 multiplied by the height. And see the little 90-degree angle here helps you to know that that's the height. That's how come we knew that it was the height in these. Otherwise the ones with the different sides, the different sides are going to be the base 1 and base 2. So if you came up with the following equation, you are correct. It was going to be 1/2 times the height, 3.5 times 3 plus 2. So your answer should have come out to be 8.75 inches squared. So you can find the area of any figure by separating it into familiar figures. There's more than one way that you can do this. So let's look at Anna and Ryan. Anna and Ryan are helping their friends build a large wooden deck. What is the area of the deck? So if you look, here is the figure of the deck. So Anna's method, she says, I'll subtract the area of the triangle from the area of the rectangle. So the area of a rectangle is area equals base times height. So she got 27 times 12. So here's the base times the height. And then she looks at the area of the triangle. Area equals half the base times the height. So if you see, she knows that this bottom is 27. And so these lines are going to be the same length. So if this was 15, what she did is she took 27 and she subtracted 15, and that's how she got 12. So the area of the triangle is going to be 12 times 9 times 1/2, and that's going to equal 54. So then she takes 324 and subtracts 54, and she gets 270. So the area of the deck is 270 square feet. Ryan's method, he says, I'll add the areas of the rectangle and the trapezoid. The area of the rectangle, area equals base times height. So what he did is he took 15 times 12, because he's getting the area of this figure right here, and that equals 180. The area of a trapezoid is going to be the area equals half the height times the base 1 plus base 2. So he takes 1/2 and multiplies it by 12. He got 12 by taking 27 and subtracting it from 15, so that he knows this length right here. If we know that this is 15 and those are the same, then this one down here is going to be 12. Let's change that back to red. So 1/2 times 12 times base 1, which is 3, this area right here, plus 12. And when he adds 3 plus 12, he gets 15. Multiply that by 12 and divide by 2, he gets 90. So then he's going to add the two areas together, the area of the rectangle, which is 180, and the area of the trapezoid, which is 90. And when he adds them together, he gets 270. The area of the deck is 270 feet squared, which is the same answer. So there's more than one way that you can figure this. Go ahead and see if you can find the area of the figure below. Keeping in mind that there is more than one way to solve this. I myself am going to solve it using Anna's method. So what I want to do is I want to find the area of this entire figure, and then I'm going to subtract the area of this rectangle. So looking at this rectangle, I know that the area is the base times the height. So 6 times 2. So that area is going to be 12. Now looking at the figure as a whole, I need to know what base 1 and base 2 are going to be, and then add them together. So base 1 is actually going to be 6, and then we want to know what this is, and that's 6. So the total for this side is going to be 12. So we have 12 plus, here's base 2, 16. Multiply that by the height, and then multiply that by 1/2. So 16 plus 12 equals 28. And we're going to multiply that by 3 equals 84, divided by 2 equals 42. But that's the area for this entire figure. We still need to subtract this. So when I subtract 12, I'm going to get 30. So therefore the answer is 30 meters squared. For today's homework, let's please do questions 2 through 7. Let's do one together for our vocabulary. The perpendicular distance between two parallel sides of a trapezoid is called the, so here we have our trapezoid, and it's asking what this line right here, what is that called? It's going to be called the height. the height. Once again, 2 through 7, please. Go ahead and take a picture of your work and text it to me when you're done. Thank you.